and welcome again to another assignment due this Sunday. And we are talking about wireless attacks. My topic is going to be on war driving. So let's get started. War driving is the act of finding and exposing a wireless network that is not protected while driving around an area. Your information can be wide open for the taking if you're not careful on how you protect your access points. Some people have made like kind of a game or a sport out of it in order to expose and pinpoint locations of areas that haven't been protected. It has not always been a scene for evil, but sometimes for good, because sometimes people can go around, locate the access point, breach into their network, and then either notify or attempt to gain access and steal information from their personal computers. It's very uneasy to know when someone is doing it. All they really need is a car, an antenna, a laptop, and a GPS just to keep pinpoints on locations that they have been around in order to scope the certain area. So if they find a location that they know is notable, they can just pinpoint it there on the GPS and then go back and drive around the area to find more cases or more unprotected networks. Another variation of war driving is known as war dialing. War dialing is the act of dialing random phone numbers in search for modems. So people instead of like looking for wireless access to something or to networks, they would just go ahead and dial random phone numbers into their computer and search for modems in the area that match the description. It is the same concept, except you are actually you are sneaking your way into their network without them even realizing it. When I was browsing for prevention of how to stop war driving, I was given examples of using WEP or using WPA, which, I mean, it's not a half bad resort, but I feel that those are very outdated for like almost a decade now, maybe even more. But I would suggest using WPA2 and making sure that your firewall is on. Sometimes your firewall just is never on. No one really notices it. And many people don't know what WPA2 is, but if you do get into the point where you don't understand what wireless protection that you're using, make sure that always use WPA2. It will make encrypting harder or decrypting harder to get into your network, and you'll always be protected using a password that would always be, how do I say, what's the best word? Using a password that would be hard to code, especially if you create your own password. Some people just use their default password on their router, or they don't even decide to be creative and make something that's very complicated. So use WPA2 and use an integrated firewall. A good example for an attack like this is when 3 cybercriminals in Seattle have driven around the city and scoped every business, every neighborhood, and most likely every house or building, and they have breached in at least 13 businesses. I wasn't given any names of those businesses. I was given the names of the people, but it's not really that important. And they have attempted to breach wireless networks in 41 buildings. And with war driving, these people altogether have stolen more than $700,500 worth of computer equipment, computer information, and credit card information and payroll information from the business's people and or themselves. So you never know if you'll never know if you're going to be attacked until it actually happens. So be very careful on that. And that is my assignment 5, and I thank you and have a great rest of the day.